Hey everyone, welcome to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge Day 35. Today we are talking about receiving that unconditional love of God Source Creator and financial freedom. In the Soul Legacy Journal with Iona Mead, she talks, her acronym is, I'm getting twisted, I'm trying to do two things at once. You know how I do this, right? Not the greatest at multitasking. Iona has a acronym that is Cheers to Financial Freedom. And we all know it's not all about the money. However, we do live in the society where everything costs money, right? Our health costs money. Like being right here with you right now costs money. Eating food costs money. Like everything in our society costs money. It doesn't mean that we're rich and we're greedy and we're out to harm somebody to make a buck. It just means we're surviving and we're expanding and we're having that energy exchange, right? So I want to talk today about that energy exchange and financial freedom. And last night that concept dropped in a little bit before I went to sleep too, about the spiritual energy of money and leaning into that even more. Like I taught that in my 5-day money box clearing challenge. However, how often we get programmed, those old programs and conditions can sneak in and push away some of the things that we actually know, right? So that spiritual energy of money, that higher vibration of unconditional love of God Source Creator, that we live in an abundant universe, right? There are so many resources available to us, yet we tend to have these beliefs and then energy in those fears based on lack. You know, that I've been there, like fear of where you're going to get your money to pay a bill, or fear of how you're going to pay for your food, or then when you have that desire to really eat healthier or cleaner, and it costs more. Like, what? Excuse me. And on that note, I just want to share that I found it very interesting that when I switched to organic fruits and vegetables, because of that belief, right? Because of what I was taught, I anticipated that my fresh produce was going to rot faster because there are no, forgive me if you hear my son, if there are no chemicals on it, right, to quote unquote preserve it longer. You know what I found? The organic without the chemicals lasts longer. So that whole thing about, um, we're trying to preserve it so it can have a longer shelf life, I call bull. Baloney. Baloney. Just saying. Still, point being, it costs more to be healthier, right? Hey, there she is. Hey, Iona. Iona says, hey, beautiful. Iona says, oh, wow, I forgot again to give you a shout out. You're good. I think you said something about, no, my memory went blank. But I think you meant we're good. We're good. No way they did. I was quite surprised. Now, there could be other factors at play, maybe. Excuse me, maybe. But I tested that theory more than once. So, not to say that I, wanted to leave food sitting for a long period of time to see how long it would take to rot. But sometimes that happens. And still that anticipation, like, oh, it's probably bad now. And it's not. So either A, it wasn't organic, but I believe that it was. Believe, because I really can't prove it. I don't know where it came from, right? Or B, baloney, that the stuff that they put on our food is absolutely not to preserve it. And it's not healthier at all. But it's interesting, isn't it, how junk food is cheaper? So just really speaking again to the financial freedom and why, the whys behind financial freedom, to help our inner self debunk that belief, because this is for me, you guys, might be for you too, but definitely for myself, debunk that belief that it's wrong to want financial freedom. And you didn't hear me say, because I didn't say, I want to be rich and greedy, or I want to be rich and famous, or I want to, be able to just blow money and be wasteful. I didn't say any of that at all. I didn't say I wanted to take advantage and use people to make a buck. I didn't say that. at all. But this idea that we, excuse me, we go from one idea to, another extreme, if you will. That idea in the spiritual communities, right? We're spiritual beings, so we don't need, quote unquote, need money. Our spirit doesn't. But if we want to continue to lug around this human body, we do, right? Our spirit lives on, absolutely. Excuse me. But if we want to hang out as a human on the planet Earth in this current lifetime, then, yep, it costs money, right? And it's not being rude, it's just kind of checking ourselves with that thinking of stop assuming that it's a terrible thing to want to continue to live as a human being or to continue to be a healthy human being. And then also being able to share and tithe and give back more and to expand and to be helpful in many other ways and to not be stressful and all the things that come with that lack, that scarcity, that poverty, that brokenness, right? And I don't mean like my spirit's broke. I'm talking about the bank account being broke, right? It's not a terrible thing. It doesn't make us bad spiritual people or humans or whatever that, however you want to say it. You come back to comments here. Iona says, very interesting. It was. I was blown away. I'm like, what? I remember a friend saying that, I think it was, so forgive me if I tell the story wrong. I'm not going to share names, but I think it was, I'll say someone she knew asked for, was it organic apples? I could be wrong, but like same concept. I don't have the main point of the story. I might have details mixed up. Excuse me, but so that they got the person the bag of organic apples, and because they lasted longer, they were upset and thought that they didn't buy them organic, that they bought them treated apples because they were lasting longer. And I was like, I can attest that, you know, things will last longer when they're not full of chemicals. Iona says exactly right. Iona says we do need money. It's a stupid belief to adapt. I know, but how many of us do it? I know I did. Hook, line, and sink. So I will share, if you haven't watched Iona's live today, definitely watch it. If you know me, and I'll just say it that way, if you know me, you know I'm conspiracy minded, right? Always have been. I haven't always had the right ideas or followed the right information, but there's always been that question, right? And that debate and that rebelliousness within me. Excuse me, I need to get a drink of water. Which, fine, it is what it is, but I don't mind it. Iona said something today about that control, right? Because we get that rebelliousness, like we won't be controlled by. We won't be controlled by society, and we won't be controlled by government, or we won't be controlled by humanness, or we won't be controlled by ego, and we won't be whatever it is that we, rebel against and say we won't be controlled by. Yet I was like, snap, yet here I am being controlled by it because I was buffaloed into buying into that belief, right? Tell me that wasn't a form of control. Get us to believe that living minimally, I'm not saying that minimally is a terrible thing because there's still things I really like about that whole concept. But to have us believe that we shouldn't be paid, to have us believe that we should be broke in order to be spiritual beings or really full of love beings or be good and be right or whatever it may be, was just another mind control BS thing. Money itself is not bad. It's what you do with it. It's how you get it and what you do with it. I'll say it that way. It's how you get it and what you do with it. People get it, obtain it in ways that are quite awful and hurtful. I'm not supporting that at all. Or what they do with it could be very, greedy and selfish or harmful and hurtful. I don't agree with that, obviously, at all. But to apply that concept or that belief or that idea onto every single person and everything, blah, 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 every single situation, it's not right. We're wrong. I just have to admit that I'm wrong to do that. Iona says, exactly. Lack and stress, no vibration of all those emotions. Exactly. And since you said that, I'm going to say, because I don't think I said it in private. You said something about sorry about the live because it cut you off. I almost chuckled because of the timing of it. Excuse me, because you were very passionate about saying how fear, and I don't want to set my internet off here, fear is the lowest vibration. Like you drove it home and then it's like, boom, your internet goes out. I'm like, whoo, power of that energy, girlfriend. Point taken. But seriously, it's real interesting when if you watch the playback or even, go all the way to that end and just see the passion in that energy to really make your point, and then the connection goes. It's really interesting. I do think you interrupted that, not purposely, intentionally, but yeah, I do. Just saying. Nona says, and we still haven't clicked. It's a trick. I know, right? Starting two more now, and it is a trick. Very nasty one. But it worked, sadly. It worked for a while. No more. Cutting it off right now. And it says, what is this then? The biggest one of all. Hmm? Sorry, I got lost. I do that. I get lost. And it says, yep, because all people around the world who attended a Millionaire Mind had the same beliefs they had to release and were causing trauma. Yeah, I believe that 1,000,000%. That's when it dropped for me, the herd believing that, right? That's a great point. So thank you for saying that today because it helped it click for me. Because I didn't, well, not obviously, obviously, I didn't attend the Millionaire Mindset, but yep, the timing, I know, right? It was massive. Yep, energy blew it up. I think so, for real. That's why I had a laugh. I had a laugh. It's like, you go, girl, drive it home. Biggest con, isn't it? To think that we have to be broke. Yep. Again, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to living minimally either, like minimal living, minimalistically. I don't think that's a bad thing at all because I mean, I still feel like a lot of things are just material. Like, do I really need it? I'm not gonna like fall apart without it kind of thing. And I don't mean to be wasteful because I still don't like to waste things. But I like to not have the stress. And some of the points I was making in my journal before coming on with the financial freedom was that the financial freedom is also freedom of or from stress. Stress is a killer, like literally. I shared a video. That was on my very first one, wasn't it? I think it was on the very first challenge I did, but I shared a video about stress, and it was very informative on how stress literally affects the body. It can increase inflammation. It does terrible things to our bodies and causes more disease in many ways. But financial freedom is also freedom from lack, like doing without, feeling like we don't have enough, the scarcity, the poverty, the fear, that lower vibration, right? And we can say, if we are conspiracy minded like myself, that they, quote unquote, I'll just say they, want to keep us in fear and low vibe because that's how they maintain their control, right? Not pulling all the conspiracies, but just in generally speaking to help debunk this and get ourselves out of it. Because when we don't have financial freedom, and again, that can mean what that looks like for each of us could be different. There's variances in that, and that's fine, right? I'm not here to tell you what your financial freedom is supposed to look like, just what will it be for me? And that's what I have to decide, and that's what I open up and allow and receive. Asking it is given, right? So I have to clear away some more of those blocks so I can receive it, like we talked about yesterday. But to move up out of that space of fear. So I'm not fearing. You guys, I shared this week was rough because I have a tooth that got infected, right? It broke and it got infected. Guess what? It costs money to go to the dentist. Costing me money to get this taken out. And I won't even add all the other money that they threw on top of that bundle. But that, fear, where's it going to come from? Now, bless my mom, she says, no, I could have charged it. I could have. But ick, more bills, more debt. Who wants that, right? But my mom offered to pay for my extraction, which is super sweet of her. But those fears of, how we pay our bills and how we stay out of the debt, how I keep the internet on so that I can run my business, right? How I can go buy food. How can I buy healthier food? Sorry, just listening. I think she's just moving stuff around the kitchen. How we can treat any type of dis-ease if we have it, if we fall and get hurt, if we have something, bigger going on, if we need a checkup, whatever it may be. All those things cost money, right? So financial freedom is the freedom of that, not being able to take care of ourselves, that health and wellness. And then fear, think about the energy, because unconditional love, let's go here for a minute, crown chakra, right? Highest vibration, unconditional love, God, source, creator, spirit, pure spirit, financial freedom, receiving. Yeah. And then we talk about the fears and the scarcity and the poverty, and that is the lowest vibration. So we just dipped and dropped all the way down to the root chakra, which I believe is why many people start with the root chakra when it comes to working on money blocks and such, abundance and financial freedom. Because the fear sits there and all the beliefs that are tied up in the root chakra, and that's what we talk about tomorrow, right? Are those beliefs and the root chakra part of the best you? And then having that self-awareness of what our beliefs are. I had to do my acronym and spell it out real quick. We got to clear that stuff out. That's all I'm going to say on that. Okay. So spiritual energy of money anyway was popping back in my head, and I read a nice article about that, and it really talked about, um, our in spirit and spirituality. We talk about that expansion, and money also is that energy that helps us expand or experience that expansion while we are having this human experience, right? So that was kind of cool to read. Where did I leave off, Iona? I'm sorry. I'm going to come back to comments here. I always lose my spot. Not always, but I lost my spot again. Here we go. Iona says, I'm a big minimalist, right? And you've been sharing how you've let so many things, physical things, go to experience being a digital nomad. So you don't want a whole bunch of stuff to take on when you are traveling, right? So that's massive, but still costs money. Like you shared today, even being a minimalist, it still costs money. It's still required. You still need it for the human. Iona says freedom from toxic emotions and the emotions that take us out. Exactly. I did a stress management course and learned an awesome. I would not say the words too much. Right? Don't build it. Don't start building the energy. Iona says, oh my, the money for the tooth. Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bless your mom. I know. That was so kind. Iona says, so true, that freedom, it rings true when we sit with it. It does, right? And yeah, working with those beliefs and clearing the gunk out. And it says, yep, high vibe to low vibe. Isn't it interesting? And again, my visuals, the high and what it all is associated and connected with. And then you can see that connection with the lower part. And the other part that with the root chakra is that fight, flight, and freeze mode, right? So exactly that, with that poverty and scarcity of meeting our basic needs, which again is all part of the root chakra. Because we do have this physical body that we are living in right now. So it costs it costs human money to take care of the human body. It doesn't mean we're not spiritual by doing so. And it says, and when we are called as light workers to serve and contribute, to suffer? I don't think so. Exactly, because how well do you contribute when you're suffering, right? How do we show up as our best version of ourselves and full of gunk and suffering? Reminds me again of that one image I used in my class. Sorry, don't put my earpiece. In my class of uh, Pigpen, right? He had the picture of the little Charlie Brown character, Pigpen, with his, did he have his blanket? I don't remember. But a big cloud of dust, right? Always has a big cloud of dust around him. Well, that's kind of like what our energy looks like when we're stressed out, in fear, have all that gunk or dis-ease. Iona says, I let everything go except sentimental stuff. Exactly. Like the home, the car, all the things. Iona says, isn't it also funny that spiritual people are made to feel like they are crazy and don't know what we are talking about? I know. Truth. Yeah, we're just weird. We're just weird because we don't fit in the box. We're not fully molded. We get reshaped. We have different perspectives. We challenge the norm. Yeah, challenge authority. Ellen says, my soul mission just got deeper. The rich house and poor house. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking I watched one of those videos you sent me on that rich house, poor house. Been thinking about that a lot. It's funny because, the last 2 days I was like, I had all this pumped, hyped energy. Today I'm like kind of tired. I don't know, just very calm. Very calm today. But sitting with the connections that are made. So I love that because I know more is coming. So I think this is my highest self or spirit kind of saying just chill and receive because that's what today is about, right? Receiving, just sit and be quiet and listen. And I've had some distractions, so I've been kind of not hearing it all, not listening fully, but hearing it and receiving it and connecting it more with, the financial freedom and the money blocks clearing challenge and the importance of getting those blocks out of our way. Right? What else? I think that was it for today. A lot of that alignment, as we were talking about yesterday, being in alignment with what? Brokenness? Being in alignment with, like, what have I been in alignment with? And sadly, apparently, right? No blame, shame, and guilt, just awareness. But apparently, that's what I was in alignment with. Accepting that belief, accepting that program, that trap, the worthiness trap. Just saying. But falling into that trap of what it meant to be spiritual, that to what it meant to walk a spiritual path, releasing the humanness, right? And that could mean, again, we all have our beliefs and definitions and ideas and perspectives. And I'm not saying I'm not telling anyone else how to believe. This is mine that I'm sharing. And if it resonates, great. If not, that's okay. Leave it, right? But really just paying attention and increasing my self-awareness as we talk about being aware, assess, and align where we're at. Well, my self-awareness is increasing for sure, and I am assessing to see that I am not exactly aligned with what I want to be aligned with. And my action steps to get into alignment is exactly what I'm doing. So I'm showing up here daily, I'm doing my journaling, I'm sitting and I am listening, and I'm actively listening to receive, to clear out this gunk, to get it out of my way, right? I asked, it was given. My blocks have been up, clearing this out of the way so I can fully accept and receive because it's massive. Getting into alignment with my highest. Iona says calm is good. Yeah, it is. I like it. I like this feeling too. It's funny, I like both, actually. I like having that excitement, but I also like just calm and chill and just being present, and it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, I've experienced those humanist parts of me before, when like quiet used to freak me out because I think I've shared many times before that I would want to crawl out of my skin because quiet and calm just freaked me out. I didn't like to be with myself, basically. So I wanted to just keep on moving and get distracted. And then that's like the anxious moments. And then, like, when depression was high, then it was like I wasn't calm, I was stressed within, but it was the overwhelming, heavy, kicked my butt. Now I just want to sleep, sleep it all away, but not sleeping well because I wasn't actually calm or resting. My mind and emotions and energy was too off to actually rest because that's a thing about depression, right? It's just kind of what it does. But so, yeah, being calm but not like tired, or being calm and not overwhelmed, or being calm and just present and good is lovely. Anna says, I like both, right? They both have their benefits. They're both beautiful. I receive them both openly for sure. Okay, did I forget anything, Iona? I think I hit the main points for the day, to be fair. I think so. I think you hit a lot of great points. So if whatever I didn't say, because you already did, and which makes us a great, great team. So let me get to our homework to continue on this journaling process of creating an energy healing lifestyle, taking care of ourselves first, and our self-care challenge. That cheat sheet with the 7-day chakra healing challenge, which again, live round is the 4th week of September, starting on the Monday. So 4th Monday of September, come join me. You can find me on my, you can find the playlist on my YouTube channel, Energy Healing TV and Podcast, on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, but the playlist is actually on YouTube. I haven't figured out if there is a way to do a playlist on Rumble or Spotify, but it's on YouTube, or you can go to the energyhealingschool.com and you can sign up right there. It's the 7-day chakra healing challenge, and there's some bonuses, and in those bonuses is this chakra healing cheat sheet. So one of the things we can do for ourselves to help clear and balance, I'm telling you, too calm, healing hands. Clear and balance energy in the crown chakra, any chakra, but for today we're talking about the crown chakra. Just lay it on top of your head, excuse me, and allow the energy to align. Leave it there for as long as you feel drawn to. It might be quickly, you might feel like, oh, I feel pretty good, or you might leave it there for a little bit and just feel like, maybe I need a little bit more, and that's okay. Just leave it there for as long as you're drawn to. Another thing that we can use to help clear and balance our energy are colors, right? So for the crown chakra, we can use the color of violet or white. Weather's getting cooler out, so I have my long sleeve shirt on with a combination of colors, but I feel like this one really kind of fits with the crown chakra. It gives me those different options. The solfeggio frequency that resonates with the crown chakra, is 963 hertz. And affirmations or reflections, we can use I honor or I am grateful for. I think for reflections as well, sometimes I like to check myself and just say, what does unconditional love mean to me? Because we can get that twisted sometimes too, right? And we can confuse that with a checklist or lack of boundaries. Excuse me. So, like we talk about with heart chakra, there's a level of forgiveness, but forgiveness doesn't mean allowing certain things to continue, or that we stay in certain situations that aren't good for us, right? Same with unconditional love. Because you love someone unconditionally doesn't mean that you have to be around them and do everything that they want you to. That's not the same thing. It comes with boundaries, healthy boundaries that supports you and ultimately them. And we may not see it, but again, we get it twisted sometimes in the spiritual communities too. What we think is unconditional love is really unhealthy enabling. So checking in with yourself, is it unconditional love or is it enabling? I'm not sure why that just came up into our awareness, including myself today, but I will reflect on that as well. So unconditional love or enabling. I honor and always gratitude, right? What am I grateful for? It's one of those high vibrational energies, and we can use that in every chakra, but especially as we journal in our energy healing lifestyle journal for the crown chakra on Sundays. And the element of the crown chakra, of course, is pure spirit, right? Unconditional love, God's source creator. It's beautiful. Let me back up here a little bit on comments before we go. Again, if you're comfortable, drop it in the comments. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to respond to those. Share what you use for your self-care, how you address the energy in your crown chakra. Are you open to receiving, and or what do you receive, right? Because I used to receive criticisms. What are you open to receiving? What does financial freedom feel like and sound like to you? What does that mean to you? And what does it mean? What does it feel like when you hear the spiritual energy of money? And what does that mean to you? Iona says, I think we are good. Perfect. Thank you. I went on a rant. Those are good though, right? Need those rants. They're powerful. Iona says, Soul Team, power of 3. Absolutely. Love you billions. Thanks for holding space for all of us. Thank you. I love you too. Iona says, that's such a good point. It's not the same thing. It's really not, right? We do get it twisted. Oh yeah, I know I have for sure. And sometimes I still have to check myself. I was like, did it again. Dipped into enabling. Love those questions. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you again. I will see you. Well, I'll talk to you soon, Iona, and I will see you all tomorrow for root chakra healing, deeper on that self-awareness and beliefs. Checking our beliefs. Love you so much. See you soon. Have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time in the world it is for you. Bye, guys.